Capital News tonight. Prime Minister Majaliwa urges TIC to stop bureaucracy towards investors. Public universities lecturers threaten to join strike. Simba qualifies for next round of CAF Club League of Champions. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. Prime Minister Majaliwa has urged Tanzania Investment Center TIC and especially divisions working under the center, including the Employment Division, to stop bureaucracy to investors, as this has been one of the biggest and constant complaints made. Prime Minister Majaliwa made the statement when he visited the center for the first time since the office was moved.
How long does it take you to read? Once you get employed, you should stay late reading so the system can start to operate if you use your own initiative. But if the system doesn't operate, then a lot of tasks cannot be carried out. We've addressed the problem of bureaucracy so many times. If one person knows how the system operates, then get on with it. If there's any problems, then they must be identified early so they can be rectified. But you cannot allow problems to remain unresolved for months. For someone coming to do repair work, he only needs a short period visitor's visa. But to carry out such a task, one is required to have a work permit.
Morogoro Hunting Safari Company, working in partnership with officers of the Community to Safeguard Natural Resources, have carried out an operation and successfully seized 481 cows, as well as arrested 6 livestock keepers who had invaded the land for hunting of the company.
Wild animals ran away from this area to an extent that when a group of hunters came, they did not get a single animal. This is because farmers and livestock keepers have encroached into reserve area and have settled here. We shall pay the fine. However, we ask the government to mark where the border is supposed to be. At the moment, cattle herders are arrested when they don't know exactly where the border is. This area has been set aside, and as you know, in any reserve area, no human activity is supposed to take place.
One day after the Ministry of Education in Zanzibar announced erase of the Form 2 national examinations for Zanzibar, a large debate has broken out within the Council of Representatives after the exams were leaked and sold at 20,000 shillings. This started yesterday after the schools began the examinations throughout the country, and reports that the exams had leaked, which were confirmed by the ministry.
As the Council of Representatives, we ask you not to dishonor the Constitution so that this matter can be discussed, so that what is needed, then the government must discuss. Let the investigation take place. I cannot tell you who has been arrested because then you'll want to know who they are. Once the investigation is complete, then we will call you and tell you the details and what cause the law will take place.
The executive chairman of IPP, Dr. Reginald Mengi, has invited Chinese businessmen to join him in investing in the country via a partnership in various projects, especially during this particular time when Tanzania is trying hard to become an industrialized economy. Dr. Mengi made this call in Dar es Salaam during a luncheon which he had prepared for the representatives of 17 Chinese companies who are in the country to look for investment opportunities. Dr. Mengi also said that Tanzania is a country that is blessed with many investment opportunities due to its abundance of various natural resources, and emphasized that those who are ready to work with him in various projects, such as a factory to create oil and butter from cashew nuts, a project to build car tires, as well as construction of a gas pipeline from Tanzania to Uganda, should come forward.
I told the Executive Minister that I'm looking for partners in my project. Number one project is I mentioned the Minsk area. I'm looking for joint venture partners to build a gas line from Tanzania, from Dar es Salaam to Kampala. And I'll be very happy to discuss with anybody who may be interested. You know, we produce a lot of gas here, but we cannot get that gas to Uganda, for example. But if we can get the gas to Uganda, we shall be able to even to industrialize the areas between here and Uganda, northern Tanzania in particular.
All my responsibility to work with you, Dr. Mengi, to play as a bridge, the embassy play as a bridge between you and Chinese businessmen, and both Chinese and Tanzanian business people can work together for the win-win cooperation and as well as for the industrialization of this country, since we have been long-time brothers, sisters, each other.
5 chairmen, including 3 village ward chairmen and 1 managing officer of a ward in Simanjiro district, Manyara region, have run back to their families due to fear of being captured during an illegal fishing operation at Nyumbayamungu Dam, led by a special force of the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries in Moshi, Mwanga and Simanjiro districts.
Some of the leaders ran away because they are scared of getting punished in front of the people. Some are running away from paying fine, and some don't want to be seen to be the ones helping those practicing illegal fishing. In this operation against illegal fishing, there are some government leaders who ran away. No one can run from the government. It is better to surrender, because we will use everything we have to catch you, and you will be prosecuted.
Pongwe Primary School, which has students with special needs in Tanga, have a lack of teaching and learning equipment. This long-standing problem has led to them not to do well in their studies.
We don't have teaching equipment special for students with visual impairment, but those suffering from albinism also need textbooks with large text. There is a lack of spectacles and other devices that will help them to see. And those who cannot completely see, there isn't enough books in Braille to meet the demand. There's a lack of games to be used after class. There are those who are good at drawing, but they need to be in a place, say a club, to help them realize this talent.
The Minister for Livestock and Fisheries, Luhaga Mpina, has directed the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Elisante Ole Gabriel, to immediately remove those employees who are currently stationed at a center for the supervision and inspection of livestock that is in Kibaha Coast Region.
Na watendaji ambao wanazunguka kila maeneo katika mikoa hiyo.
We must have supervision zones to enforce every business related to livestock. So the assistant manager in charge of sales, who is also in charge of the auction, cannot be present at every auction taking place at once. So a team of new officers must be appointed as of tomorrow to represent the ministry in this area.
Hote kule na huna mwakilishi kwa sababu ukusanyaji maduhuli mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi.
A proper collection system is still a challenge, honorable guest of honor.
As we head towards the end of the year, the Road Safety Police Force has begun a nationwide operation to inspect all passenger buses making trips within and outside of the country, wherein the operation conducted at Ubungo Station, they successfully stopped over 10 buses from traveling.
Tunataka mlinde maisha ya Watanzania.
We want you to protect the lives of Tanzanians. Drivers, when you are driving, you assume responsibility for your passengers. And if you are not cautious, we shall keep losing the lives of our people unnecessarily. You find some drivers driving at very high speed. Where are you going in such a hurry? The law states that when entering a residential area, then you must drive at 50 kilometers per hour.
Maeneo ya makazi ya watu kuenda kilomita 50 kwa saa. Nitoe wito tu kwa wenzetu hawa watoa huduma.
Drivers have been asked to bring in their vehicles for inspection early, but they fail to do so. They come when passengers have already boarded the bus. The inspection is going on well, which will help make end of the year a lot safer for our passengers. I ask fellow drivers to do a thorough inspection before the start of any journey.
International experts on the communication sector have said that a big percentage of officials from institutes and important public organizations, including Tanzania Postal Corporation in Africa, are failing to keep up with the speed of change in modern technology, which has caused low standards of services provided.
Posta nyingi sana zina wazee wanafanya kazi huko.
A lot of postal service workers are old. They've worked there for a long time. The government should pay them off so they can retire. The young who are energetic should be employed. If we have the young and educated, then they must be employed.
Nafikiri ita explode. Hakuna kitu ambacho.
Very little can be achieved without finances, and in this case, there is a lot that needs to be invested in technology. We have the infrastructure, but there is new technology coming up every day, so how can we conquer the market? Postal Service is the only institution that can regulate communication, and it is able to provide affordable service, as it is not easy for everyone to have access to electronic communication.
Dr. Reginald Mengi Foundation, which helps people with disabilities in the country, is expected to launch an award for people with disabilities through various groups, whereby the winner of the award will be announced next year in February during a luncheon organized by the Institute.
Sisi yetu ya Dr. Reginald Mengi inazindua rasmi tuzo za ICANN.
Dr. Reginald Mengi Foundation has come up with an award, ICANN, for people with disability. The aim of this is to recognize people with disability who have succeeded in various fields. This is to show that people with disability are able to.
Changamoto kwa watu wenye ulemavu.
Natumia fursa hii kumpongeza Mheshimiwa Dr. Reginald Mengi.
I would like to commend Dr. Reginald Mengi, especially on the assistance he has been giving people with disability from the early 1980s to date. He has given vehicles to the Blind Society as well as uplift the lives of disabled people. but most importantly is by starting the Dr. Reginald Mengi Disability Fund, which looks after the interests of people with disability. But today he has started an award for people with disability from different walks of life and those with special achievement. This award will bring forth talents from people with disability.
All for national news. International news is next.
Wizara ya Viwanda, Biashara na Uwekezaji kupitia Mamlaka ya Maendeleo ya Biashara Tanzania, TanTrade, inawakaribisha wamiliki wa viwanda vidogo, vya kati na vikubwa kushiriki maonesho ya 3 ya bidhaa za viwanda Tanzania kuanzia tarehe 5 hadi 9 Disemba 2018 katika uwanja wa maonesho Mwalimu JK Nyerere, barabara ya Kilwa, Dar es Salaam. Lengo la maonesho haya ni kujenga jukwaa la wadau wa sekta ya viwanda na biashara kujadiliana, kubadilishana uzoefu na kutangaza fursa zilizopo katika sekta hizi. Aidha, maonesho haya yatatoa fursa na hamasa kwa Watanzania kutumia bidhaa na huduma zinazozalishwa na viwanda vilivyopo nchini. Tafadhali thibitisha ushiriki wako kwa kupakua fomu kwenye tovuti www.tantrade.go.tz. Kwa maelezo zaidi piga simu namba 0715484452 au 0754265822. Hakuna kiingilio kwa watembeleaji. Tanzania, sasa tunajenga viwanda.
And in international news, the Lecturers' Union of all public universities in Uganda have announced their stance to join the strike if the government does not respond to the call for increased salaries, bonuses and good working conditions.
Teaching staff will take part in the strike until 29 billion and 24 billion worth of debt is paid.
Election campaigns in the Democratic Republic of Congo heat up with 18 days of campaigning left. That's up to the 21st of December, with the elections to be held on the 23rd of December.
We want changes to benefit everyone. We have fertile land, yet our people are suffering. We must crave for change for our country so people can enjoy peace and get jobs.
After thousands were forced to walk a long distance to get to work following a ban on public vehicles entering Nairobi city center, the governor of Nairobi City, Mike Mbuvi Sonko, has temporarily halted the implementation of the ban.
Yesterday, November 3rd, the government of the city of Nairobi and the central government implemented a ban on commuter buses entering the city center to ease congestion, but we've seen how much commuters are suffering. I would like to announce that the ban is lifted so as to pave way for further discussions. I'm a city resident, and yesterday we suffered so much. I had to walk far to get to work and back home. We commend the governor for suspending the ban. They should not ask us to walk so far as some of us are not well.
That is all for international news, but do stay with us. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. Energy and Water Utilities Authority Agency, URA, has announced the cap price of petrol in the country. The prices will begin to be used this Wednesday, with the price of oil entering through the port of Dar es Salaam shown to have increased, mainly because of the change in global markets.
Kampuni ya Tigo sasa
Tigo in the Lake Zone has launched an electronic government payment system that will enable over 7 million customers using the network services to make payments quickly to institutions, ministries, and over 300 government agencies.
Unaweza ukalipia bili.
With Tigo, you can now pay bills via the government electronic payment system, GEPG. It is easy to do so via Tigo Pesa. When you receive a bill, we expect you to pay as soon as possible. So by using this Tigo Pesa application, you can do so wherever you are in no time.
The third local industries exhibition will begin tomorrow at the Julius Nyerere Sabasaba grounds, with more than 200 industries to take part in the exhibition.
This exhibition is especially held to showcase products made in Tanzania. You see, there are a lot of products made in the country, but our people are not aware of. That's why we are here showcasing these products, so people can get to know about us, but also find markets. This is for products made by large and small to medium-sized industries.
That's all for business news. Sports is next.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Sean Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip hop, a hip it, the hip it, the hip hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette
with Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And on to sports news. Simba Sports Club have qualified for the next round of the CAF Club League of Champions after defeating Swaziland's Mbabane Swallows by 4-0 in Swaziland today. Simba head on to the next round with an aggregate of 8-1 after today's goal from Clutus Chama, who scored a brace, Emmanuel Oki and Medi Kagere. The former Football Federation Vice President Michael Richard Wambura has presented the copy from the High Court that demands for him to be returned to office.
Well, that the members of the managing committee who constitute the highest board, 3 of them are banned, including the electoral committee chairman. All of them are banned for life in less than 6 months of ruling, as well as the vice president. This has never happened.
Russian athletes will remain banned from the international competitions after the IAAF held the country's suspension into 2019.
The governing body banned Russia in November 2015 because of evidence of state-sponsored doping. The ban will remain in place until samples and data from Moscow's former anti-doping laboratory are made available. Russia must also pay all costs incurred by the work of the IAAF's task force. I hope they'll deliver the data by the end of this year, said Brun Anderson, head of the IAAF's task force on Russia, but I cannot go any further than that.
Manchester United manager Jose Mourinho says his target of the club being in the Premier League top 4 by the end of December has changed.
Mourinho had come up with the aim before United's 0-0 draw with Crystal Palace on 24th of November. After Saturday's 2-2 draw at Southampton, they are 7th and 8 points off a Champions League place. United, whose last league win was on 3rd of November, host 4th-placed Arsenal on Wednesday. After the Saints' result, Mourinho had told Brazilian television network Rede TV that United needed a miracle to finish in the top 4.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to prepare this bulletin for you, thank you for watching and have a good night.